as a software engineer, I think one thing, if I could tell anyone, would be to be curious in what they are doing. If you're curious enough, you'll find ways. So if they can do it, anybody can do it, right? So.
Hello everyone, I'm Anushri Karmukar and welcome to the special edition of ITM BTech CSE's podcast. Today we have a really special guest with us, Mr. Ankur. Mr. Ankur has worked on many open source projects, is currently working at Oracle and has won great hackathons like Hack with Envy. And today we are really lucky to have you here with us. And we're really hoping we could get really insightful tips and secrets on how to make it big in the industry.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever experience I have, it's been close to 5 years in the industry now. So whatever experience I have gained throughout my college, throughout my professional journey, I would be, sharing with you. So it can be shared with multiple other people who are right now in their college or starting their careers. So
I hope really many students get benefits from this. So the first question is, you were really career driven from the early stages of your career. You were contributing to open source, you were taking in interviews, and you were also winning hackathons. So what was that one thing that kept your drive going on?
Just for me, I would say I was curious more than anybody else in my batch. There were very, although I come from a tier 3, what we call as tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3. So my college was also a tier 3 college, but it has a relatively better placements and the coding culture that we say, right? Coding clubs, open source coding club and competitive programming coding club. So that environment already was there in my college. One thing that made me find a different thing. For example, a lot of people go through this entire journey of their BTech from first year to fourth year, even discover this open source thing, competitive programming. They are mostly a lot of people I see are only indulged in their academic, maintaining their CGPA, doing the coursework and everything and assignments and everything. But as a software engineer, I think one thing, if I could tell anyone, would be to be curious in what they are doing. If you're curious enough, you'll find ways, be it making resumes, taking part in hackathons, taking part in open source contributions, because every field, these individual fields, these are very deep in itself. If you go for a competitive programming, let's say, it's a very vast topic in itself. People start from code chef, they practice on lead code, they practice on code forces, then there are multiple other contests. For example, as a student, everybody, when they take admission in a college, the end goal, at least if not every, but majority of the students have this in mind, right? That I'll take this placement of 50 lakhs, right? So to go into that path, these pathways that I mentioned, be it open source, be it competitive programming, be it anything else in the industry, right? So these particular fields are very deep in themselves. Okay, so if you are not curious, you will leave them halfway. And completing coursework doesn't give you placement, at least in tech. So that is what I did, being curious. Hack with Envy was, as you mentioned, I got my first off-campus job using this Hack with Envy thing. So, and the other placement, although my college was a tier 3 college, but the placements were pretty good. Even Google came in for placements, although it was not a software engineer role, it was a technical solution engineer kind of a role, but it did come. If there was some talented people, they would have got.
So that means many Indian students here are worried that if they don't get into a tier 1 college, then their future.
That is a mindset shift I think that they need to make in that case. That skills is everything in tech, I would say. Because you might also have seen, or I have also seen prime examples that I have seen people from tier 3 college going to first Infosys, TCS or any other company, then switching to my previous company, Walmart. So if they can do it, anybody can do it, right?
So here at ITM Skills University, we teach students to work on their GitHub portfolios, work on projects, and also contribute to open source. And there's a stigma upon students that having a higher GPA might help them in their college placement. So what role do you think, or what weightage of role do you think GPAs and projects play when your resume is about to stand out to a recruiter?
Okay, so GPA, it's something, it's not everything. Let's say there is a Microsoft coming in for the placements. There are 100 students, okay, all are very skilled. How they wouldn't be taking interviews of those 100 students, right? then as a filter they would be using the GPA thing. If you can maintain some, it differs college to college. Maintaining an 8 pointer or a 9 pointer in my college was very difficult task. But I see in different colleges, almost 70% of the students have 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. In that case, when the company does the shortlisting, in that case the bar would be a lot higher. In my case, I was very clear in mind that I don't have to run behind the GPAs and everything. My GPA was consistent throughout my 4 years of college. It was around 7.5, to be honest. I was not a 9 point or 9.5 pointer, because I knew this is just going to help me in the shortlisting. Even if you are a low GPA pointer, even in that case 70 to 80% companies will shortlist you, because there are very few companies that would be putting a bar on the GPAs. So it's good if you can maintain it, but that is not the sole thing that you have to focus on. So you have to focus on skills, and the project, as you mentioned, projects are definitely good, and they mostly help you if you are going, there are two types of companies. One is MNCs. If Microsoft or Google or Walmart comes into your campus, usually they go to tier 1 colleges, probably IIT or NITs. Okay, so in that case, they have a standard process of selecting a student. They might not be seeing your project that much, but if you're going for a startup, early age startup or series A funded startup, they want, because the work culture in both of these two different companies, one is MNC, one is startup, are very different. MNC would give you some time that you can learn in those time and then can begin your work. Startup wants you join today, you start working from tomorrow, and when you have done the project in that tech stack in which the company works in, you have a positive upper hand in that case, right? So in that case, projects become helpful in shortlisting you. If there are 5 candidates, all are good in coding, let's say all are good in data structures and algorithm, but 2 of them have done good projects in the tech stack that the company works in. Let's say the company works in a backend Java Spring Boot, and these 2 people have done significant contribution to open source or personal pet project, you say, right? And have uploaded to GitHub and actively know about the frameworks and everything. It's very far easier to onboard them from the next day. So that's where the preference goes. It's not that other 3 were bad, it's just that they matched. That's it.
So, sir, you have previously done many projects like toxic comment detectors and everything. So, sir, can you suggest 2 to 3 main points or projects that people in our college can do so that their resume stands out, or through which they can have a higher chance at getting a big company?
The first and foremost thing would be the interest area of the student. If I suggest 2 projects and there are 100 students in the class, everybody makes that 2 projects. There is no differentiation between the first and the 100th student, right? In that case, first figure out what is your interest area. That's what I am going to tell in the session as well. Like, there are multiple streams that you can take part in during your college years. It could be Android development, it could be competitive programming, it could be open source thing, and it could be MERN stack that people are learning these days, right? It could be AI and ML that has a lot of hype these days, right? Making agentic AIs and LLM based models and LLM based website. There's this concept of vibe coding these days, that people code entire website UI and everything using the chatbots and these LLM models, right? So first figure out what is your interest area. Having touched the surface on multiple areas does not help you in a longer run. You know a little bit of agentic AI, you know a little bit of MERN stack, you know a little bit of AI and ML, you know a little bit of Android development. That does not help. Okay, take taste of everything, but then pick one and then become best in that. If you are very good in, let's say, MERN stack, both front end, back end, and you are a full stack developer. In that case, if you can make something that actual users use, that is the best case, having live actual users, because that guy has already gone to an industry level experience and knowledge while developing that, while deploying that. He might have got cloud experience, he might have got front end experience, he might have got back end experience, he might have got databases experience. So company, what else the company wants? These are the only things that the company wants. So make something that can make a full stack project kind of thing. For example, people usually, we had this COVID, right, in 2020, 2021. A lot of people, government gave this data of COVID, state-wise COVID cases. People made dashboard using the APIs that were being exposed by the government. They knew front end, they knew back end, they just made a call, got the data, showed their UI skills and then represented in a dashboard in a good kind of way. So any problem that you see, anything that can help anyone, that is the best way to make any project, I would say.
Right, so and you mentioned that the first internship that you got was from the hackathon fee. So how do you think people should network at hackathons? Because there are many people who are way more experienced than us, and there are many recruiters going around. So what is that one hackathon tip that you swear by?
I mean, hackathons are definitely a good thing to network, to build with people, and that adrenaline of building something 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever the duration of the hackathon is. So networking definitely always helps. Today you are a student, you are sitting with 10 other guys, or students, your colleagues or your peers. Somebody who's work, how will people know? Even if he's very talented, let's say he has done project, he knows tech stacks and everything. If he does not go and show out to the world that I am this capable, how will people come and offer something to him or her, right? So in that case, networking comes up. Hackathon is a very good way. If participating is one thing, let's say you won something, right? You can showcase, you have already showcased your tech skills, that these are the things that I excel at. Somebody might notice you. Somebody might be building a startup, they might be calling you as a founding member, they might give you an opportunity, they might give you an internship, right? So whatever skill you have, building skill is one thing, showcasing it to the world, a lot of developers I see do not do that at all. Okay, and I see a lot of other people who are average in their skills, but they are very prompt in showcasing what they know and what they can do. They are very good at convincing, right? They have an edge at that point of time. Somebody might be a good speaker, somebody might be a very good in tech, but he might not be a very good speaker. He might not know how to sell his skills. And I have seen, at least in the recent days, that the one with a good speaking and average tech skills is earning more what the other tech guy. It's not that he will be deprived of jobs or that thing. It's not like that. He will get the job, other person would get the job. But in terms of exposure and visibility in the audience or in the peer group or in the industry, I am saying that the other people might more be known because he has that selling skills, networking skills.
So in our ITM, we have some specializations like AI, ML, data science, AR, VR, cyber security. So if you were a student at ITM right now, what would have been the specialization that you would have dug deep in?
Okay, so it's AI, ML, AR, VR, cyber security and Web3. Okay. AI space is very hot right now. Okay. If I could get something in the course, in the, the teachers that might be telling you, and because the AI space is very hot right now, and you see startups, most of the tech startups are XZ.ai. That makes them relatively easier to pick up some funding from venture capitalists, right? So having there are two things: doing something for the placements, because there are different kinds of students, and it is okay to be of a one of a kind, right? Everybody is not here to be curious and to be diving into the tech part of it. Some has the only motive for some would be just to get the degree, get the placement, get work in the weekdays, party in the weekends. I don't have to do much thing. I don't have to hustle every day, right? So it is okay. That is his way of living his life, right? So if I were at ITM at this point of time, I might have gotten forward with either Web3 or AIML. Web3, I have seen a couple of videos, because I am a full stack developer, by the way. So I have seen a lot of Web3 hype. That IIT guy, I don't remember the name, Harkirat, I think, right? So he might have popularized it a lot. Yeah.
So as we talk about startups, there are many notions that goes around that you have to be good at entrepreneurial skills as well when you are entering into a tech world. So how important do you think is the entrepreneurship skills for or in a tech guy to have right now at this economy and everything?
This is kind of an added advantage. If you are a tech guy without entrepreneurial skills, right? Even in that case, you will excel at least in your field. You might not be building something of your own, or although having entrepreneurial skills like be it communication, be it presenting your work, it definitely helps you in your corporate job, because irrespective of you are in college or you are in corporate job, you have to show your work everywhere. This visibility thing, I mean, I've been in the industry for the last 4.5 or 5 years, let's say, and this visibility term, like I've been in Walmart for 3.5 plus years now. Okay, I recently switched to Oracle. This was the term that was mentioned the most during my one-on-ones with my manager, that increase your visibility. When they say increase your visibility, basically everybody is doing work, right? In the team, everybody has been hired to do some work, right? And everybody is doing their job. What would differentiate you, right? That something that would differentiate would be you're doing your work, you're showcasing, you're keeping a meeting, let's say, of director, VP, and you have done something significant. You show them that this is the optimization that I have done. This is something that I have done that had reduced this much of bugs. This is something that I have done this much of reduction in manual effort. This I have automated. And once you are in that is something related to corporate kind of thing, to have some visibility on that front. But yeah, visibility is something that is very important, be it college, be it corporate.
So sir, at ITM we do have business modules and courses that are taught to students, and I'm sure many of us will be now motivated to grasp that part also. So sir, the last question would be, what is that one mantra or secret that you would like to tell all of the students here to make it actually big in tech, because the competition right now is very high, and everyone is trying to do their best at everything, finding their passion, finding their niche. So what would be that one advice that you give?
Just being curious would solve a lot of issues. Just being curious. If I'm doing something, why I'm doing and where will it lead me? Right. If somebody is curious, he or she will find his way, I think. That is one thing that I can say. If you are curious enough, at least in tech, if you are curious enough, you'll find your ways. Because nobody is going to tell you, okay, follow this, do this, then do this, then do this. They will say, nobody gives, people don't have time for themselves these days. How will they tell anybody else what to do and what not to do? So you have to find your own ways. If you get help in between, well and good. If you don't, you have to find your own ways, and if you're curious, you'll easily find your ways. So yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. The insights that we got really changed the perspective that was there in our minds, and we would really love to have you on campus soon, and all the students are very eager to talk to you and learn more about your experience. Thank you so much for coming here, and thank you for attending this podcast by ITM BTech CSE. I'm Anushri Karmukar and signing off.